Allow me to extend a warm welcome to all the viewers on the internet and around the world. It is sunrise on YouTube, morning on Facebook, noon on Twitter, midday on Threads, afternoon on Twitch, sunset on Instagram, and evening on Rumble. I am your host, the Ancient One, the Bachelor Supreme, the Phantom Menace, he who remains, and the master of the deceptive arts. We are broadcasting live directly from the sanctum of solitude and the citadel at the end of time. Good evening, everyone. I am the Ancient One, the Bachelor Supreme, the Phantom Menace, he who remains, the master of the deceptive arts, and I return to you once again as the proud voice of the Vasectomites. And today, I want us to try and answer the question that many men might ask themselves before embarking on this very serious journey and getting a vasectomy. And this question might be, how do women feel about being with a man that has had a vasectomy? And that's the title that you see on today's video. Do women love vasectomies, or men with vasectomies? I believe that in truth there is no single unified, simple, correct, or even constant answer to this question. For the most part, the results, I think, will probably remain inconclusive. Really, it depends on who you ask and what their individual circumstances are. But more than just circumstances, now that I'm pondering it out loud, you could consider things like moods. So if someone is in, say, a tolerant, accepting, open-minded mood, they might be okay with a vasectomy. But there are those people that might feel threatened. They might feel, harmed, hurt, emotionally hurt, right? Rejected is really the word that I'm looking for. There are counterparts who will hear the word vasectomy and associate that word with rejection, right? So for them, approval would be the desire to not just be intimate with them, but also to inseminate them and impregnate them, right? There are benders who genuinely have this desire. And if you don't have that desire, or have that desire for them, they might take that as an indication of rejection, right? And there's no telling how they might respond to that. These people are fragile egos. They're so fragile, right? For instance, if you ask a mother of 3 or 4 children, right, who's been married for several years, and hasn't used birth control in some time, right? But she would have to be still within what they call childbearing years, right? You might get a very positive response for a vasectomy, right? You might get an approval there. If I'm assuming that now you were open and you're discussing your vasectomy with a counterpart, not like other vasectomites who should have just kept it a secret. But if you're talking to somebody who already has kids, and you must remember that most vasectomites are men who have a vasectomy because they have children already, right? Or they've been divorced and had children, right? So they would see the benefit of getting a vasectomy. But even so, if you're speaking to a mother of 3 or 4, even 2, who's still in a marriage and intends on continuing, you know, they might be inclined to agree with the vasectomy, assuming that they trust that their husband will not abuse this power, which I assure you he will. He will absolutely abuse that vasectomy, right? She may feel relieved, right, by her husband undergoing the procedure or being in a relationship with a vasectomite, right? She might feel relieved, at least in terms of reproductive risk, right? So she might welcome it as a solution to what could possibly be a deepening and even worsening crisis, especially economically, because you know how expensive these kids can be. So, if you're asking a mother of two or three, or even a single mother, something that just popped into my mind, even a single mother, maybe you say to her, well, how would you feel about being with a vasectomite, especially one who isn't previously, divorced, or doesn't have any kids? She might be inclined to agree to that under certain circumstances, but this would not be ideal, because now you're as a you'll be a vasectomite, free to roam the world, as you so choose, and you would choose to incur the bills of a stepfather. I mean, to each his own. I'm not here to be judgmental, but then why get a vasectomy just so that you can raise kids? You know what I mean? It's one thing if these kids are already yours, but then you prevent yourself from having your own kids just so you can go raise somebody else's kids. That doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any logical sense if you follow it through. However, for the counterpart, that set of circumstances might be tremendously beneficial. But for a vasectomite, especially one who doesn't have kids, I cannot see that happening. Like, I really cannot see myself foregoing my liberty, my freedom, my self determination, self control, self preservation, um, you know, self consciousness, self awareness, to impart wisdom on somebody else's child. In a professional set of circumstances, perhaps. But in my free time, after hours, no, I think not. I think not. So the crisis would indeed have to deepen and worsen in my absence. But let's look at the contrast. For a counterpart that is looking to get inseminated and may want to start a family, right? A vasectomite, the at least the thought of being with a vasectomite might induce terror, anxiety, paranoia, suspicion, even depression, self blame, self doubt, right? All kinds of problems, right? And ultimately, I think this would be a worst case scenario for a woman that's looking to start a family, right? This fear is exacerbated and escalated by a secret and unknown vasectomy, which is my personal favorite, right? So the terror, the anxiety that a woman who may want to start a family would feel, right? If she doesn't know that she's with a vasectomite and she believes that this is the man with which she's going to have children, right? This is the one for whom she will bear those kids. And she finds out that there's absolutely no chance that this was ever going to happen. Usually this insight doesn't come along instantly. It can take years, years, 5 years, 7 years in some cases, before the truth comes out. And even then, you'd have to tell them the truth, right? It's one thing, I think, to announce your vasectomy up front, or to discuss getting it with your significant other, with your counterpart, or even say, that when you encounter the counterpart, you then tell them, hey, listen, I want us to talk about something. I want to be upfront. I want you to know the truth. You know, can we take a moment to discuss this in a serious way? I don't want to spoil the mood, but I just want you to know who I really am on the inside. And then you say, my real name is the Ancient One, and I'm a vasectomite, right? If you do that, that's entirely up to you, right? I mean, she may respond gladly, she may respond in terror. So it's one thing to come out in the open like that, transparent, open door policy, whatnot. Right now, this is not what I recommend. I definitely do not recommend an open door policy to your vasectomy, right? And and you put all your cards on the table, right? You face up, right? That's one thing. But it's another when she has absolutely no idea, right? Now this is just gold. This is what you call the holy grail, you know? And for us vasectomites, this is just the holy grail. To be with a counterpart who believes and wants to have a family. She thinks you're a great guy. She's seen how you are. She loves the quad bikes, the jet skis, the traveling. She likes the hotels, the restaurants. She likes the fitness, the lifestyle. The things that you talk about, other guys don't talk about, right? And there you are, killing it with a vasectomy, right? With us, a secret vasectomy, just hovering above her, right? With us, this is the golden era, the beginning of an era of great triumph and experiences, right? But I believe that women under these circumstances, they would hate secret vasectomies like mine. I think they would absolutely hate it. I mean, we've read several articles already together, you and I, and today we will read one more, right? But we've read about these relationships that involve a secret vasectomy, right? Where the woman doesn't know, she's trying to get inseminated, she's doing exercises, she's drinking water, taking vitamins, sleeping early, doing yoga, right? We've and some of these articles are better than others, but all of them are unique and special to my heart. But one thing that they all have in common is how they end. Man, those relationships, they never survive a vasectomy. They never go past the announcement of a vasectomy. When a vasectomite says these four magic words, it breaks them. It really breaks them, right? You know the magic words. I got a vasectomy. You say those words, I got a vasectomy, any counterpart will break, you know? And that's where they end. Right after that, we always hear what happened to the couple. Oh, they ended things. Or the one wants to try and come back, but this one doesn't trust them. Oh, this and that, right? The truth is that she's just exhausted. She gave all that work. She did all that work and it was absolutely for nothing. The counterpart feels betrayed by a secret vasectomy. They are completely blindsided. I mean, oblivious. You know what I'm telling you when I say blindsided and double tapped, right? Then they feel double crossed with a switch. It's not just a double cross, it's a switch and a double cross. It's a full on shuffle. They feel played, they feel outmaneuvered, they feel outwitted. But most of all, they feel hurt. They feel really hurt by thinking that they had the upper hand all along, but you had the ace. You had the V card hidden away somewhere, just waiting to drop that particular bomb. Whatever set of emotions you can attach to the feelings that a counterpart has to a secret emotion, love is never one of those feelings. They don't love nothing about no secret vasectomy. I beg your pardon. They don't love nothing about a secret vasectomy, right? There's no love there. And another word you'll never hear is happy. How at the end of that experience, what they take away from it is happiness, despite all the love that was shared in those moments. And some of that love is real, most of it, I suppose, right? But for especially a counterpart that wants to have children, these are the ones that are most affected by a secret vasectomy. It gives them PTSD to think about it. It really does. And like it shatters their emotional core. And these people live for their feelings. All the time she's dreaming about all the love she's gonna get and give to those fledglings. From the day that they're born, it's just gonna be them. She even got the names picked out. She's designing the rooms. Even if you say, oh, I don't want to know the gender, let's not find out the gender. She's gonna go find out the gender and just won't tell you. But she's gonna want to know everything. Suddenly you arrive, she's already got names picked out. She's already got boxes from Amazon waiting to be delivered. As soon as she gets home, everything is blue and you don't know why. You know? I mean, when they find out that all of that is nothing but thin air. I mean, not even thin air. You know? It breaks them. It breaks them. It hurts them a lot. So they really hate it, They put in so much of themselves, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, right? They invest their whole future into this endeavor, and it's really for nothing. It's a complete waste of time, at least for her. It's a complete waste of time for her, but for the vasectomites, those years are wonderful. Those years are wonderful. The gates of Valhalla are wide open, And with her just trying and trying and trying to use him for insemination and pregnancy, just putting her back into it, heart and soul, man. And it's for nothing. And it's for absolutely nothing. But for the vasectomites, these are the golden years, man. These are the golden years. It's what it's all about. It's really what it's all about. It's like driving hands free, man. It's efficiency at its best, and it's glorious. It's glorious. It's not just fun. It's just glorious. Glorious. People will do anything. They'll try any number of things, and you'll be surprised how creative people can be under those circumstances. They'll be doing strange yoga positions, and you're just like, oh my God, how do you contort your physical self like that? They're trying to hit that spiritual core and release the childbearingness, and it's for nothing. And don't think you're not releasing the childbearingness. You are absolutely releasing the childbearingness. It is Hormones, pheromones everywhere. We can feel it, we can sense it, we can smell it. It's delightful. But there's no point. It's not you, it's me. It's not you, it's me. I did it. I'm the vasectomite, right? Never, never in the life of a vasectomite has intimacy been so easily given, so readily available, so abundantly provided, and happily dispensed. Really, it's a buffet. It's a kid in a candy store. Charlie inside the chocolate factory. All your dreams come true all at once. This is the personification and physical manifestation of ecstasy and the height of efficiency. Minimum input, I mean minimum input, the tiniest of suggestions with the maximum output. Beyond when they say your cup shall overflow, that's what they're talking about. Abundance. This right here is true abundance. When you're a vasectomite and you are with a counterpart who wants nothing more than your baby, first it's like a trickle and then it's like a flood. They try a little bit, then they try a little bit more, then they try a whole lot. Then they get creative. Oh, the creativity. For the counterpart, it really sparks something into them, it brings them to life to want this, it gives them purpose, man. And it's quite inspiring to watch. I mean, again, it's just for show. It's theater. It's drama. It's nothing more than an opera to me. These tears are nothing more than music. Nothing more than music. You hear screams, I hear music, right? And it's all day, all night, with passion, with vigor, with hopefulness and determination. All day long. What more could a proud vasectomite ask for? In terms of passion, inflamed desire, grit. This is the stuff of opera. Right? This is what we want. I cannot recall a single moment where a counterpart was happy to receive the news of a vasectomy after all that I've just described. And then to hear, by the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, I got a vasectomy. The 4 magic words. Despite the obvious and glaring hypocrisy and undeniable contradiction of their own set of circumstances. And that contradiction is the fact that the counterpart herself has used up until recently and will use again the tremendous advantages of female contraception, of which 99% of counterparts on this earth have used female contraception to prevent pregnancy, insemination, and the bearing of children, only for the sole purpose of prevention of bearing those children, because contraception doesn't do nothing else. Doesn't protect against STDs, right? Doesn't protect against anything else, quite frankly. It just stops you from having these kids. And yet they reaped the rewards and the benefits for decades, perhaps, of contraception, with none of us knowing. And those that knew never said nothing. We didn't insult them for it. We didn't belittle them. We didn't end the relationship upon discovering this news. We remained true to the cause and supportive all the way. Oh, but let us have the contraception. No, they don't want that. They don't want that. Suddenly is a problem, despite the obvious hypocrisy. And while they were on it, remember, they will say and do whatever the hell they want, with whoever they want, whenever they want. They came and went all the wee hours of the morning, all night, all morning, being dropped off and picked up all in the same day. With no remorse, no shame, no guilt, and I didn't shame them. I never shamed them, not to their face. But when their counterpart instincts of maternity kick in, they want to make their concerns our concerns. Well, this is the vasectomy life. Your concerns are not my concerns. Your problems are your problems. Welcome to the vasectomy life. This is not only hypocritical, it is illegal, it is unjust, and it is unfair. For you to want to subdue another person's right to their reproductive system is unfair. It's my body and it's my choice. Some might feel that the man should bend the knee and capitulate to her maternal instincts and her desires, particularly because this may be what they call a time-sensitive thing. They always talk about, oh, this is her last chance. Oh, you should do it, it's her last chance. But is it really? Is it really the last chance? I tell you that the counterpart's hypocrisy has no depth. It is a well-known fact that the counterpart has a minimum, well, maybe a maximum, but let's say a rough estimation of about 30 years to bear children. From puberty, which is obviously too young, but still, nature takes its course, until roughly 40, 43, some even 45. They can have children. Now, consider this, that for 30 years, you were able to bear these kids, but you didn't. You waited until the very last minute. And some may even have, children at a later stage with those miracle babies. Be careful of those miracle babies. Those miracle babies, they'll ruin your life. As far as I'm concerned, 30 years is plenty of time to decide. Yes, you may grow and change and mature in different ways, but 30 years to me seems like plenty of time for you to decide. And the fact that you waited until the very last minute, I mean the very last possible minute to do this in a healthy way, is an indication that you didn't want to do it at all. It's an indication that you know what you were doing. You took the precautionary steps to prevent that which you were doing, and then you played your part. All right? And then you waited and delayed and delayed and delayed because you just didn't want it. So on the one hand, you knew exactly what you were doing, but on the other hand, you just didn't want it. You don't want it. And women gotta be honest, man. Some of you just don't want to have kids. That's why you like vasectomies. You can be as free as you want and not have to take responsibility, put it on the man. This is the only reason they would love vasectomies. Right? This is no divine act. This is deliberate on the counterpart's part. Right? This is deliberate on the counterpart's part. And should you encounter a vasectomite during your last minute gasp, during this last final try, then I assure you, nothing but tears. many, many tears. But alas, today is not about the tears. It's about those women who love us, those who love vasectomies. Today's edification will give us some small insight into the minds of those counterparts who happen to love a man with a vasectomy. And we will look at a few of the reasons why women love men with vasectomies. So here it is for your viewing pleasure. It is entitled Women Love Men Who Get Vasectomies, 5 Reasons Why. This comes from the computercare.com. There was no author or date given, but I like the information. There were other articles that had similar. Some had more information, but I thought this was quite sound. And also, I like some of the wording. This is the link to the website. You're more than welcome to go and visit their website. That's computercare.com. The article reads, they say diamonds are a girl's best friends, and the same could be true of vasectomies. Really? That's interesting. Can you imagine Marilyn Monroe singing that? For many women, a vasectomy is a game changer, and men too, that provides worry-free contraception without the stress, side effects, and potential complications of other forms of birth control. Here are 5 reasons why women love men who get vasectomies. I like everything about this article so far. I wish the author had given his name that we could credit him for these wonderful and courageous words. Number 1, the chance of unintended pregnancy is close to 0. Isn't that just great news? Now, we already know this here on this channel, but it's always good to hear it again and again. And for those who haven't heard it and are hearing it for the first time, yes, you can get a vasectomy, and it is pretty much 0% that you will get somebody pregnant. And now, if that appeals to you, what you need to do is you need to call your urologist and schedule an appointment for a consultation. Pay every dime. It's worth it. It reads, vasectomies top the list of reliable methods of birth control. Yes, vasectomies are even better than female birth control. We are absolutely the best. We are at the top of the evolutionary scale. Don't let anybody tell you any different. They are 99.85% effective. You don't get that. You don't get that 85% with female birth control. You just get the 99 losers. They are 99.85% effective at preventing pregnancy. Among other forms of contraception, only UDIs, tubal ligation, and implants come close. Close, but no cigar. The failure rate of vasectomy contraception is only 0.15%, 0.15%, compared to the pill, which is 9%, condoms at 18%, and the withdrawal methods, which is catastrophic at 22%. Of course, only abstinence is 100% effective, but that's not an option. But 99.85% is pretty darn close. I'll take 99.89%. I'll take that over the 100% chance of abstinence, right? So, yeah, I'll take those odds. You see, these numbers, to me, they say victory. They say you can trust this. When compared to all other methods, as usual, the vasectomy is at the top. Cost, effectiveness, efficiency, recovery time, all of that, we're killing it. We're killing it. This is why you want to get a vasectomy. Freeze your sperm, get a vasectomy, and join the winners. Join the winners. Join the 1%. You've been wanting to be in the 1% your whole life. You've been wanting to stand out. You've been searching for a life of meaning and significance. A life of distinction that separates you from all these knee benders. This is the one that you've been waiting for. Don't believe me? Call your urologist. I assure you, they will see you and they will treat you with the respect that you deserve. They will, a specialist, you call that specialist, you tell him what you want, he will treat you with the respect you deserve. When was the last time a specialist ever treated you with respect? Become a vasectomite and they'll do it on the first day. Just by discussing a vasectomy, they'll give you the respect that you deserve. I guarantee it. Number two, vasectomies save money. Of course they do. Of course they do. Not only are they the best, they are the most efficient and the cheapest. See, this is what I like about it. There are people who pride themselves on spending money, tons and tons of money, just to achieve mediocrity. It's like flying across the world only for you to take a selfie that you could have taken in your bedroom, sitting in your pajamas, and you go take it on the other side of the world, sitting in your pajamas. It's just inefficient, man. You just blew thousands of dollars, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I travel a lot, but I'm a vasectomite. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't have kids to come home to and all kinds of problems. I love going to fancy places and taking selfies. For me, it's nothing more than a small trip. For you, it'll bankrupt you. Let's continue, but let's save you some money first. This is the power of the vasectomy I'm trying to explain to you. You start traveling with a vasectomy. Your cost of travel is, minimal. It is nothing. It's yes, it's the cost, but it's the standard cost. And what I mean is that, whatever plane ticket you buy, you pay that price. So you could choose to travel cheaper, right? Still comfortable, but cheaper. You can choose to stay in a comfortable. You can choose to stay in a 5-star place, but in a more affordable room, right? And you'll pay just the standard. Now, this doesn't sound efficient, but what you get is effectively you get the same experience. So let me not efficient. Let me say pleasurable, but you get the same experience, and let me explain why. When you're traveling by yourself, you actually only need one seat. You don't need 3. When you're traveling with a counterpart, you need 3. It just works that way, right? So a lot of people end up traveling business so they can have space for themselves and have space for the counterpart. But when you're traveling by yourself, you just need space for yourself. And when you get a room for 2 people, effectively what you need is 2 rooms. You need a bedroom you need a 1-bedroom unit, right? Whereas you could get what they call a bachelor room, which is effectively you get the room, you get the couch, you get the TV, you get all the other things, but you get it in one room, right? You can get a kitchen, you can get a kitchenette rather, and you can get it all in one room. You bring a counterpart, you're going to need to double that space on a minimum. I'm telling you. And you're going to need a balcony. So you're going to need 3 options. You're going to need a place for you where you can be, where she can be, and another place where either one of you can go when the other one isn't there. Because if the 2 of you in one room, you're going to annoy each other. I promise you're going to annoy each other, which in turn saves you even more money. It just never ends with a vasectomy. Really, it just never ends. It's just that good. Let me read the details. It says, over time, yes, A vasectomy is way cheaper than other forms of birth control. Over time, I wish this person had wrote their names because I liked everything about this article. The real, you pay that $1,550, right? 1,550, and that's it. You don't pay no more. After that, I promise you, when they say overtime, what they mean is that the pressure of high costs in terms of dating, maintaining lifestyle, impressing people goes all the way down. It goes all the way down, and then you live there over a long, long time. Now, this doesn't mean to live poorly. Like I said, you travel, but you travel different. You don't need 3 rooms, right? A bathroom, a bedroom, a lounge, and a balcony where you and the counterpart can avoid and ignore each other, right? You just need enough comfort for yourself. And what you'll find is it's actually more spacious than what you think at a reasonable cost compared to that penthouse suite that, quite frankly, you don't only not want, you don't need. Because I've paid for places where there's like 3 rooms. And sometimes I need that type of situation for various reasons. And I find that I only spend most of my time in one or two places. This is other than the bathroom. 1 or 2 places. Mostly it's like one spot. I'll find one spot where I'm very comfortable, and that's where I'll spend most of my time. And I'll occasionally dot in and out of these places. When when the cleaning staff and the ground staff come in, what they'll find is that they actually have to clean like a 2 meter space, which is really the space, that 2 meter radius around me. That's really the space that I occupy. But other than that, the rest of the place will probably be fine. So over time, it is incredible. I cannot tell you how much the savings are and how big the confidence is, because you don't have to worry about incurring those costs by accident. So you just go full on saving, and just wealth building over time, just ticking up that number in your bank account. It says most providers will charge a one-time cost for a vasectomy around $1,550, $1,550. For $50 more, you can also freeze your sperm. Please take that into consideration. These are done in 2 different places. Freezing your sperm is done at a fertility clinic, and the vasectomy is done at your urologist. Consult your urologist before making any moves. Around $1,550, $50 more, you can freeze your sperm. Often covered by insurance. Yes, speak to your insurance providers. Right, your medical insurance will pay for this gladly, which probably means like $100 copayment maximum. They won't charge you $100 for this. Insurance will pay for the whole thing. Actually, I'm confident insurance will pay for the whole thing. They'll pay for the urologist, the consultation, the room if you need a room, anesthesiologist if you need an anesthesiologist, the procedure, as well as the test after. So you have to do a test to make sure that you have the all clear, right? They'll pay for all that. Really, I'm confident they'll pay for that. It's nothing, man. It's $1,500. It's really nothing for medical insurance. I've heard these people pay $100,000 for one tablet. I've heard that. This is compared to the $6,000 and up for tubal ligation. Listen to that. Tubal ligation with no sperm frozen is $6,000. That's what, almost over 5 times as much. That's wild. No, over 4 times as much. That is wild. Meanwhile, birth control pills can cost up to $50 a month. That's $500 a year. That's $600 a year. In 2 years, you could get yourself a vasectomy for sure you can get yourself a vasectomy. You know what? Just make your medical insurance pay for it. It's free. Wow, that's a lot of money, which comes out to $600 per year, for as long as they need it to be taken. So it could be $600 a year for 10 years. That's $6,000, right? You might as well get the tubal ligation. I don't actually say that word very often. It doesn't roll off the tongue very easy. Tubal ligation, tubal ligation. That doesn't sound like fun at all. Let's continue. As an added bonus, vasectomies are often covered by insurance. Mention that. So if you are covered, your vasectomy could cost you a grand total of, wait for it, nothing. Just listen to that. This frustrates me. This really frustrates me. There's a guy right now with medical insurance and 4 kids. And it's like, really, come on. You know what? I'm pretty sure they'll even pay for you to freeze your sperm. You know what? I have an inclination that they would do that. I mean, mine is off the books and it's not a problem. And I do have medical insurance. So it's an option. But I don't want anybody asking me questions for $50 a year. I think about this. Female contraception is $50. $50 a month. You freeze your sperm, you're paying like $50 a year. You know what? It could actually be less now that I think about my own situation. Because that $50 was with a signing on fee and all kinds of things. And I'm not paying that signing on fee every year. I've only paid that sign on fee once in that store, and then the rest is just storage. And it's actually less than $50. But I don't know. Speak to your own fertility clinic. Find out what it costs, right? You could pay nothing. You could get a vasectomy for free. You know what? I might do a whole video on that. How to get a free vasectomy. I should write that down. Let's continue. You'll have more money to spend on that vacation, true, car, Costco, shopping spree, or whatever else your heart desires. You get yourself a free vasectomy, right? You get that free vasectomy, and then you go on vacation. The rest of the money, you can book a hotel, flight ticket. There it is. That money you've been wanting to use for that vacation, it's right there in front of you. I mean, you add $500 to this amount, you can have a decent vacation for a week. Or at least a good long weekend. I mean, you could have a really good time on $2,000 anywhere in the world. Just think about that, you know? And I mean, we were supposed to talk about all the things that women love about vasectomies. And here I am talking about the things that I love. So yeah, the counterpart loves the fact that vasectomy saves you money, as do I. I suppose you can see now why I'm not really one for relationships, and I'm not like even ashamed to tell you that all my relationships have failed abysmally. I'll even forget that the counterpart is there. Like I'm supposed to be doing an entire video talking about what the counterpart thinks. Right, there's the title. Women love men who get vasectomies, 5 reasons why. And I started reading and completely forgot about the women and forgot about the reasons why. I can see why. I can see why an attention-loving counterpart would really get annoyed by me. Seriously, I'd much rather listen to an audiobook. And I can see why that's a problem. I can see, because there are guys who would never listen to an audiobook. I'll happily do 10 hours in a row of an audiobook than 5 minutes of a counterpart. But we are here to talk about the counterpart. And number 3 is no negative side effects to contraception. Yes, this is strictly for the counterpart. Many common female birth control methods, including the pill and some IUDs, work by increasing hormone levels to block ovulation or prevent implantation of fertilized egg pregnancy, to prevent pregnancy, right? But hormonal birth control is notorious for causing negative side effects, including cramps, spotting, headaches, mood swings, weight gain, and depression. I just want to say something in defense of female contraception. My understanding of it is yes, there are still some issues with it. However, they say, and I'm not saying that these side effects are not true. I'm not even going to talk about the side effects. I'm going to talk about the contraception itself compared to a vasectomy. If used effectively, it's 99% effective. The 9% failure rate is because of human error. So it's not an indication, and I think I read that before, right? But a vasectomy removes the problem of human error. That's why the success rate of a vasectomy is so high, right? And that's why condoms fail so badly, right? It's because of human error, right? So it's not a failure of the invention or the process, right? But yes, side effects can be real, right? These side effects can range from mild to severe and can seriously impact a woman's quality of life. A vasectomy allows a woman to avoid these side effects altogether. I was going to say all that. I don't know nothing about these side effects. Really, I don't know a lot about female birth control. Not only because I'm not interested, but also because I could care less. Right? Why would I? Why would I? Right? I got a vasectomy, cheap, easy, no problem. I froze my sperm, which actually was a lot of fun. Overall, it was quite an enjoyable and quick and easy process. None of this. No cramping, no headaches, no mood swings, definitely not weight gain, right? Because I've lost a lot of weight since then. As soon as I got that vasectomy, I was like, man, I'm going straight to the gym and I'm going to kill it. When I come out of here, I'm going to be a beast, right? Yeah, knowing that I'm in beast mode, depression out the window, right? So yeah, we don't feel none of this. We don't feel none of this. But the counterpart does, and being with a vasectomite, just think about this. Being with a vasectomite is going to improve your hormone levels, right? It is going to decrease these cramps, no more spotting, no more headaches, no more mood swings, no more weight gain. Well, maybe. And no more depression, at least not caused by this, human error of using this invention. Right? You can be free, your natural self. You can only be your natural self with a vasectomy. This is why I think counterparts that are trying to get inseminated, man, they go full on expression with vasectomites. Trying and trying and trying and trying and trying. Unlimited. Unlimited is their exploration abilities, right? So, and with none of these side effects. No side effects. Why wouldn't you get a vasectomy? I couldn't understand, to be honest with you, why some content creators wouldn't go with this talking point. I'm the only one selling this talking point, and I'm like, why would you leave this wide open? There's an entire gap of discussion that everyone has left wide open, and here I am every day singing vasectomy, vasectomy, vasectomy. And it's like, it works, it's cheap, it's effective, it's the best, it's unbeatable with no side effects. Like, you literally just handed me the victory of a lifetime. And I am going to take it and run with it. What an oversight. Really, what an oversight. In the entire conversation about dating and relationships, not one word about vasectomies. Yeah, I think some of you sort of missed an opportunity here. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Number 4, it lowers risk of developing serious health complications. Health complications? What's that? I have no health complications. I'm a vasectomite. There's no health complications, huh? Oh, yes, sorry, I forgot again. We're not talking about me, we're talking about the counterpart. So, yes, ladies, no more health complications for you. No more health complications for me. No health complications at all. Hormonal birth control not only causes negative side effects, but it also increases the chances of developing certain forms of cancer. Oh, no, no, no. We're not doing all that cancer stuff. We are cancer free. Well, at least I think so, right? I feel pretty good. Let me not jinx it. But cancer free is what we're going for. This includes breast cancer and cervical cancer, as well as potentially life threatening blood clots, heart attacks, and strokes. Ladies, listen to the benefits. Listen to the benefits. All the while you're trying to get inseminated without knowing this is a vasectomy, taking those vitamins, doing the yoga, the Pilates, going jogging, drinking water, losing weight, right? All the while you're doing all of that, look at what you're benefiting. No more blood clots for you. No heart attacks, no stroke, no cervical cancer, no breast cancer, and also no baby. The risk increases, the article continues, with age and is compounded if you're a smoker. Yeah, well, you know, what risk? How are you going to compound a risk that doesn't exist? And, oh, yes, sorry, you're talking about the counterpart. No risks for you two ladies, no risks. And stop smoking. Right, stop smoking. It's not cool. Tubal ligation can also cause serious health complications, including infection, chronic abdominal pain, and damage to the bowel, bladder, or blood vessels. I had no idea that tubal ligation could do all of this. I need to really look at this thing, tubal ligation. It keeps popping up into my life. Maybe I'll take it seriously as I take everything else. But if these are the effects, I mean, the worst thing you're going to get from a vasectomy is that you got to sit down for a minute, right? And put some ice on it. Take some painkillers, lay down. That's it. That's it, lay down. There's really nothing more you can do. 2-3 days, you'll be back on your feet. But here, it's not just the infection. Chronic abdominal pain, damage to the bowels. No, 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 no. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Ladies, you need to get yourself a vasectomy. Stop dating these knee benders. Stop dating these knee. You know, I knew something was wrong with these knee benders. Everything they do leads to one catastrophe after another. Aren't you tired of these men, ladies? Aren't you tired of these knee benders? I know you are. I know at work they seem great and all, but when you really get to know them in their personal lives, don't they just frustrate you? Now, in order for you to avoid the complications of knee benders, you gotta risk abdominal pain, you gotta risk damage to your bowels, which means you're not in control of yourself, right? Your bladder or your blood vessels. No. That's your whole body. That's your entire system. You're risking collapsing your entire system because you're dealing with knee benders. You have to stop. The evidence is right in front of you. I didn't know how serious this was until I read all this. It was the bowels that got me, right? But blood clots are important too. This is the risk you take by dealing with these benders, ladies. You need a vasectomy in your life. And no, I'm not paying no bills. I'm not paying your bills. Why must I pay your bills? Look at all the things I'm protecting you from. Huh? Blood clots, heart attacks, stroke, breast cancer, cervical cancer. All because of me. All because of me. I'm saving your life. Look what I'm doing for you. No infections, no chronic abdominal pain, no damage to your bowels, your bladder, or your blood vessels. And I gotta feed you. I'm saving your life. I'm saving your life without a condom. Let's continue. The risk of women developing any of these complications from a vasectomy, listen to the risk. They describe it as nada, zip, zero, zilch. How definitive is that? I mean, these are not words that I would use myself. I'm not going to go around saying zip. No. However, these words might mean something to you. The risk of damage, the risk of a woman developing not a single one. I mean, any one of these at any level or any amount. I'm a hero. As far as I'm concerned, I'm saving lives. Okay? Look at that. What is the risk? You come with me, you feed yourself, and the risk to your health, to your livelihood, to your wallet, to your peace of mind, to your future, to your reproduction, to your biology. They describe the full impact of that risk as nada, zip, zero, and zilch. I like that. Zilch. Zip, not so much. Right? And yet you still want a fancy date. You people, your hypergamy is out of hand. I'm giving you evolutionary advantages, and you still want a piece of chicken. Let's continue. And complications for men who undergo the procedure are rare, much more rare than complications from tubal ligation. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. A vasectomy for all. That's what I say. Vasectomies for all. Ladies, find yourself a vasectomy. Save your life. Save yourself, ladies. I say to men every day that they should save themselves by getting a vasectomy. Men, get a vasectomy and save a counterpart. Save 100 if you choose to. Let's continue. Nah, don't save them. Number 5, women will stay in the mood. This is true. Now, this number 5 is the reason why I chose this article above other edifications. Women will stay in the mood now. Now, I have sound proof of this. Let's think back to the vasectomites whose articles we read with the secret vasectomy. That woman was in the mood day and night for years. I mean years. You could buy diamond rings, you could pay for trips, you could take her and her friends to outer space and bring them safely back down to earth with no complications, and their hair and makeup is still intact. You can do all of that and she will not stay in the mood, but let her be in the presence of a vasectomite trying to get inseminated with no results. If you want to see what passionate desire looks like, oh, just wait till you get a counterpart who wants to have a baby. I mean, who needs to have a baby. And you encounter her with a vasectomite. In the mood, years, peak performance for years. You'll never have a time like this. You'll never have moments like this in your life. Only a vasectomy will give you this type of experience. There are men who are wondering, what's with that guy? Why are they so passionate around him? Because he's a vasectomite. It's biological, it's biochemical, it's mental, metaphysical. It's all happening at the same time. You know, mental, physical, emotional, chemical, spiritual. It's from the cosmos, man. It's evolutionary. It's evolutionary. When that evolutionary power kicks in, they are in the mood and they stay in the mood. This is the power of the vasectomy. Why wouldn't you get a vasectomy? Keep her in the mood. This is what you wanted. This is what you've been dreaming about since you were a child. I want a woman who loves me and is always in the mood. Well, here you have it. Dreams come true, but only for vasectomites, not for you knee benders. You knee benders have the nightmare of the dark dimension to suffer through. What I describe as damnation of legal matrimony. No more fumbling for condoms. No more pulling out or interrupting the action to apply a spermicide. What is a spermicide? What is a spermicide? Does it sound it sounds ominous. It's like sperm aside, neutralization, delete, elimination, spermicide. Just get a vasectomy, man. Just get this doesn't even sound healthy. It doesn't even sound healthy. You're fumbling with condoms, you're trying to pull out, and now you're rubbing on the spermicide. And she's supposed to stay in the mood. No wonder you're getting this all wrong. You're getting this all wrong, man. You know, it's like these condoms. And I'm not against condoms. I think condoms are a tremendous invention. Blah blah blah. But these condoms, man. Have you ever seen a child unwrap like a sweet, a chocolate, some type of dessert? Have you ever seen them unwrap that thing and then they can't get it right with their fingers and then they gotta use their teeth? And that's what you look like when you use condoms. You look like a child fumbling around with a sweet. And here she is trying to be, take you seriously as a man, and there you are fumbling around with the child. I can't get it open. Can you get it open? Oh man, let me use my teeth. My teeth aren't working. I need a scissor. You know what? You need a scissor. Now you can't find a scissor. You need a knife. Oh, come on. Just get a vasectomy, guys. Get a vasectomy. Take yourself seriously. Can you take yourself seriously for a moment? As for the pull-out method, I don't even know what to say. Nothing has failed humanity more than this invention, and we've had some bad inventions. We had yo-yos. Just think about that. You spent hours of your life with a yo-yo, and a yo-yo is a better invention than the pull-out method. Oh, it is a failure. I don't even know what spermicide is. Just get a vasectomy, guys. A vasectomy is a constant and effective method of birth control that you won't even have to think about. Now, that's what I'm talking about. I say to you all the time, a technology is only as good as how intuitive it is. A technology is only as good as how easy it is for the most simple individual to use. The most illiterate, uneducated, unskilled, unwilling, lazy, unmotivated, person in the world. A person who doesn't want to do anything. The vasectomy will work for you too. You don't need special skills, man. You don't need this. You don't need these complications. You need something that you can use and then never think about again. Except if you're me, think about it all the time, making channel about it, you know what I mean? Have a platform talking all about it. And I think about it all day, looking at all these benders, and I think, you're all going to bend that knee. And I'm going to help you do it. Because what you really need is you need to snip it and forget it. Ooh, I like that. Snip it and forget it. That's a nice slogan. Snip it and forget it. I'm going to keep that in mind. A vasectomy will not prevent intimacy transmitted diseases, unfortunately. Vasectomies are an increasingly popular method of birth control, and for good reasons, many, many good reasons. By the way, we're still talking about the counterparts, right? Don't get distracted. Ladies, this is all about you, if you can believe that. They're safe and effective and spare women the negative side effects of other types of contraception. See, I told you, it's all about the ladies. We're trying to spare you, ladies. We're trying to spare you. Allow me to spare you all the negative side effects of whatever it is you're trying to do. You're killing yourself. You're killing yourself. And for what? To prevent something that I've already prevented for you. Isn't this what you want, ladies? A man who takes care of business. When the ladies say they want a man who takes care of business, by being with a vasectomy and a vasectomite, you save, listen to this, a minimum of $600 a year. Is there a situation where you are with a knee bender? I mean, this is over and above what the vasectomite will provide and pay for. But you get a personal savings of $600 a year. And if you were planning a tubal ligation, you save $6,000. I'm giving you $6,000. Just by being next to me, you're $6,000 richer. And $600 every year guaranteed as long as you stay with me or until you find another vasectomite. And good luck with that. This is wealth. This is wealth. You can take yourself on vacation. And you know the irony is that the man can get it all for free. So just think about that. He can get it all for free through his medical aid, right? Through his medical insurance company. If he works on a job that gives him medical insurance, he can get a vasectomy and thereby saving you $600 in birth control a year and $6,000 in a decade. Additional $6,000 for tubal ligation. This is a $12,000 move. When has there been a man who guaranteed you that he could make a move so bold that it would not only protect you from every type of health malady, every type of side effect associated with complications of contraception, and not only that, he would guarantee you $12,000 to be healthy. Only a vasectomite can do this. Only a vasectomite can do this. And if you get a better deal than that, I suggest you take it. But I'm assuring you that that deal that you take is going to lead you back to the birth control that you left. And not only that, it's probably going to leave you with a child. Right? You're not even going to get $12,000 from child support. Of that, I can assure you. You'd be lucky if you did. You need a vasectomy, ladies. This is all for you, by the way. Well, you know what I mean. In a selfless kind of way. I am saving lives. I mean, look at all the things that I'm doing for you. You don't even know. And you don't even appreciate it. This is what breaks my heart. Look at all the complications. Man, I saved you from 2 types of cancers. And what's the thanks I get? Nothing. This breaks my heart. Let's finish the article. It says here, next time you and your partner explore birth control options, consider giving her the gift of a vasectomy. It's a gift. That's really, you know what? This is a magnificent article. Ladies, this is for you. This is a gift for you. This is a gift for you. You know, you can even bake a cake to celebrate. And who doesn't like cake? You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and take that cake and put a cherry on top. This has been a magnificent article, ladies, and I hope you can appreciate the grand act of love and appreciation and kindness that getting a vasectomy for me does for you. This is what trickle-down economics is all about. I make a move and you benefit. You get thousands of dollars for being with a vasectomy. Just by being with a vasectomy, you're already elevated in tax status. You're up $12,000, not including the amount of money that you're going to make for yourself. Knowing that you have peace of mind. Ladies, I guarantee you peace of mind. This is what a vasectomy does. And yes, there are some ladies who, for their own reasons, some reasons better than others, may decide that, being with a vasectomy is not for them. But then I say to you, look at the benefits of health. Look at the benefits in cost. Look at the benefits in the fact that she will stay in the mood. No more pull out, no more fumbling with condoms. No more spermicide. I don't even want to know. I want to know, but I don't want to know. None of that. This is a gift, ladies. This is a gift. And for those of you who may have encountered a vasectomy, I want you to think back to how passionate you were with that vasectomy and ask yourself, when was the first and the last time you felt that kind of passion for anyone or anything? When was the last time you used your determination, hard work, strength, sacrifice, planning, engineering? When was the last time you even exercised for a grand cause? It was when you were with a vasectomy. You were at your best, your healthiest. You were the most beautiful you've ever been. And that's a compliment from the bottom of my heart. So I want to suggest to every lady out there, go out and find yourself a vasectomy. Save yourself. Forget these knee benders. All they're going to do is cause you cancer and headaches, cramps, cause you mood swings, weight gain, depression. You don't need that. You don't need these problems. You don't need these problems. What you need is an evolved man. One who, quite frankly, is not going to worry about mediocrity. One who is above this nonsense. One who truly understands. And what you need in your life is the gift of a vasectomy. Thank you for your time and your attention. This is the end of the video, and I always appreciate both your time and your attention. I am the Ancient One, the Bachelor Supreme, he who remains, the Phantom Menace, and the Master of the Deceptive Arts. And I'm proud to be the voice of the vasectomy, and I wish you all a wonderful day.